Information technology or IT is the use of any computer, storage, networking, and other physical device, infrastructure, and process to create, process, store, secure, and exchange all forms of electronic data. Typically, IT is used in the context of business operation as opposed to technology used for personal or entertainment purposes. The commercial use of IT encompasses both computer technology and telecommunication. Relationship between information technology and ethics. Information technology ethics is the study of the ethical issues arising out of the use and development of electronic technologies. Its goal is to identify and formulate answers to questions about the moral basis of individual responsibilities and action, as well as the moral underpinning of public policy.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. There are 4 types of ethical and social concern in information technology. So first and foremost, the privacy. A variety of technologies, including as encryption, anonymization, pseudonymization, and web browser interface features that prevent data from unwanted access, are available to help minimize some of the hazards connected with privacy. The accuracy. Accuracy-related ethical difficulties can be minimized by evaluating the rationale for a system's degree of accuracy and whether it is sufficient. So next, intellectual property. Organizations are increasingly concerned about intellectual property rights, particularly intangible rights of ownership in assets such as software programs. Patents, copyrights, trade secrets, and trademarks are the 4 categories of intellectual property that are important to software. Last but not least, the accessibility. The divide between the haves and the have-nots is widening as information technologies become more accessible. In the long run, this disparity may cause societal issues in society.
Consumer privacy. The ability to make one's own choices about things that are considered sensitive and private, such as whether to use contraception or get an abortion without interruption from others. Individuals' desire to exercise control over sharing of data about oneself is a focus of discussion. Examine the data shared on Facebook or other social media platforms. Such data can all too easily drop outside of a human control. Employee or workplace surveillance and privacy. On the industry, there are many of software and hardware options for monitoring a wide range of activities. The cost of monitoring or surveillance software ranges from thousands of dollars to nothing at all. Employees can establish particular alerts to time management when an individual achieves a certain activity or fails to reach productivity targets. Keystroke monitoring is possibly one of the most intrusive forms of surveillance. Advanced monitoring systems can be readily and covertly implemented, enabling companies to track employees without their awareness. The technology used to detect an employee's activity is quite advanced, and it is potential of causing any activity performed on a commercial computer. Employee monitoring is strategy used by both large and small enterprises all over the world. Companies are employing a barrage of technologies such as hardware, software, telephone system, and video records to secure themselves and enhance productivity. Location privacy. Employ a range of technologies to track the coordinates, which can bring people's choices, privacy, and security at hazard. When people's whereabouts are recorded, it's helpful to differentiate between damages and invasions of privacy. Individual privacy is harmed, according to us, not by the collecting of public location data, but by the centralization of aggregated data and the coupling of location data with other personal data. Furthermore, when the collecting of information may result in a violation of privacy, clear consent should be obtained. Globalization of online activity. The pervasive impact of technology over the world, with a special focus on ethical judgments. Because of their different cultural meanings, certain ethical issues must be explored and focused on as technologies evolve and become social standards around the globe. The pervasive impact of technology over the world, with a special focus on moral considerations. This new section gives academics, intellectuals, and professionals with a complete assessment of theories and understanding into human concerns of this wide globalization. It is a one-of-a-kind collection of studies on challenges in IT. Protection of intellectual property. Because it involves mental inventions, intellectual property is frequently invisible. However, the grounds for intellectual property rights validity are comparable to those for private property rights. The majority of intellectual property regulation exists to encourage development. Intellectual property rights encourage innovative ideas. Intellectual property assets can be valued more than physical.
Government's roles in managing information security system. 1. Managing the increasing trend of cyber threat and attack in Malaysia and around the world. 2. Highlight the act in ensuring the safety of IT users in Malaysia. And the last one, make studies in improving and adding laws related to information technology for the benefit of society. For our information, there are no cybersecurity specific laws in Malaysia. Currently, the Malaysian enforcement agencies have to rely on existing legislation such as the Communication and Multimedia Act 1998, the Defamation Act 1957, and the Sedition Act 1948 to combat cyber threat. This is clearly inadequate to protect Malaysians. With yet change in the federal government in May 2018, it is yet to be seen if new cybersecurity laws will be tabled.
Next is managing information system security. There are three types of managing information system security. The first one is quarantine software. Second one is operating system penetration software, and the third one is security policies and procedure initiatives. The first one is quarantine software. Quarantine is the technique of isolating a file suspected of being contaminated with a virus to a particular section of a storage device to avoid the contamination of other files. When antivirus software discovers a problem and is unable to destroy it using its current protocols, or when it is unclear whether or not the file is a non-virus, the quarantine procedure is utilized. If the user feels a file is contaminated but the program does not recognize the virus, the user may manually activate quarantine. When antivirus software cannot remove an infected file, it commonly uses a quarantine. The virus or file can no longer communicate with the system after it has been quarantined. Suspected quarantine files should be deleted as soon as possible. A sample of quarantine file may be automatically sent to the internet for analysis and specific antivirus system. The analysis results are sent back to the sender in a report. By creating and sending an update virus definition setting to each user's computer or personal device, the center ensures that the machine or device is protected from new viruses. Second one is operating system penetration software. Penetration testing is the technique of finding flaws in your program. This is a typical approach for testing software security, and it's a pretty accurate way to find security problems. Professionals in the field perform a simulated assault on the software. Several steps can be taken to guard against downloading free pages offered by hackers and crackers. by installing several operating system penetration software. Next, organizations can use patch management software by automating the distribution of authentic patches from multiple software vendors. Lastly, the security policies and procedure initiatives. A security policy is a written document that outlines how a corporation intends to safeguard its physical and information technology assets against cyber threats. Policies for security are constantly evolving as new technology, vulnerabilities, and security needs are introduced. Organizations need to design and implement information system security policies, procedures, and initiatives which should effectively protect organizations against unauthorized access. The content of these policies should be on maintaining in-house and off-site backup of corporate data, as well as include installing software that can be quickly restored in the case of a system failure.
Protections against cybercrime Malaysian Legion firmware. There are 4 types of protections against cybercrime Malaysian Legion firmware. There is about hacking, phishing, electronic thief, and the last one is about failure by the organizations to implement cybersecurity measures. First of all, the hacking. The hacking is the activity of using a computer to access information stored on another computer system without permissions or to spread a computer virus. The example of hacking are creating viruses or malware for hacking purposes, hacking Wi-Fi connection or credit card information using hacking tools, and the last one is about electronic thief. Secondly, the phishing. The phishing is a cybercrime in which the targets are contacted by email, telephone, or text message by someone posing as a legitimate institutions to lure individuals into providing sensitive data, such as personally identifiable information, banking and credit card details, and password. So next, electronic thief. It becomes a criminal or civil offense depending on which party engages the legal actions. The example of electronic thief such as downloading movies or software, it can expose a person to prosecution under the Copyright Act 1987. Last, failure by the organizations to implement cybersecurity measures. Section 9 of the Personal Data Protection Act 2010 imposes strict liability on data users who process personal data in a commercial context, such as banks, telecommunication companies, ISP or application service providers to protect personal data from any unauthorized loss, access or disclosure, alterations, or destruction.